So imagine falling for someone society says you should have no business even talking to. That's the emotional chaos of learning to love. This show is craziness, but also layers on top of layers of like straight reality that like has you questioning a lot of things. So, the basic summary of the show is that there is a high school teacher. I believe she works at sort of like a Catholic high school. And the main male character is a nightclub host. So obviously, opposite sides of the spectrum, right? And how they meet is weird. So one of the girls from this all girls religious school was actually going there. So I'm assuming that the girl was rich. And so she was spending her money there. And obviously she shouldn't have been there, right? But like, whatever. And the high school teacher has to go and like who knows what time. I'm assuming it's nighttime. So I'm assuming like 9 or 10 p.m. She goes because her parents called the school and like, where's my daughter? So the high school teacher goes to get the high school girl from this nightclub. And the nightclub host is the male main character. And they kind of like bump heads because, of course, for him, he's just trying to make money, right? So he's like, look, she's spending money, she's happy, blah, blah. Let's just leave us alone kind of situation. And the high school teacher is like, she's a minor. So we're taking her. Anyway, somehow their sort of connection, and it's obvious from the beginning, right? Obviously, because that's the name of the show, and you see the story unfolding. But what brings the learning to love, the title of this show, together is that he, the male main character, works at the nightclub but doesn't know how to read or write. So she, male woman character, as a teacher, is decided to help him, right? Because as a teacher, she just wants people to learn. And she definitely felt like, I think at the beginning, like she could help him. Of course, the romance starts, the chaos starts because, obviously her parents don't want her to be with a nightclub host, like who would? And his mom she just wants his money. So like at the end of the day, she's just like, whatever, do whatever. I don't care. Just make sure you give me some money. And then they kind of like move in together. And of course, the school finds out. She loses her job. He's struggling, trying to figure out what job he wants. It's just chaos. But I will say, I enjoyed this show more than I thought I would. Initially, I was like, this show is not going to be for me. But I feel like it was one of those shows where you get connected to these characters, and definitely the nightclub host, the main male character, I got connected to him. Like he was struggling, but he wasn't struggling. Like he had money and like he loved his job, but like he also knew that he needed something else. It was just one of those weird like true life stories that I feel like all J dramas have that thing that's like K dramas don't have and C dramas don't have. It's very attached to real life and not like entertainment. And don't get me wrong, this show is very entertaining. And even the romance, even though it's a slow burn, believe me, slow burn, it's worth the watch. It's very like fun, but like real life. Cause like, oh my God, her dad tried to lock her in the room. She's a grown ass woman, okay? And he is like, no, you will not date him. You will stay in this house. And I'm like, girl, what is going on? But like culturally is different, right? Because her dad wanted her to marry a specific person. And so that struggle is real. God, so real. And you can see it sort of transform their relationship. I don't even know if you would say they had a relationship from the beginning, but you could see how their relationship kind of connects through these pieces. I will also say like there are some heavy parts to this. So like there is I will definitely say a trigger warning because her story and the way this show starts, I was like, whoa. And they kind of like brush it under the rug. I mean, she talks about it a couple of times, but like I was like stunned. I was like, okay, we're just gonna talk about this really quick and keep moving. Okay. I definitely wouldn't call this a rom-com. There are some pieces that are funny, but this is more of a like a reality romance. I don't even know if there's a category for it because I feel like it's definitely the reality part of like slice of life, but it's also the romance part that has those pieces of like it gives you all the feels, right? It's a J drama. It is definitely Japanese visually. I think I talked about this a couple times in some of my other posts. The way that the Japanese J dramas are shot is different than K dramas and C dramas. Their visuals are very different. It's literally like reality. Like someone picked up their camera phone and just started like following someone around. So it's very much still that. I will say this one does have a little bit more color and aura, but it's still true to the J drama genre of shooting. I recommend this show. I really enjoyed it, and like I hope there's a season two. Like I really enjoyed it. It was slow, but it was like you were rooting for specific people, but you were also like trying to figure out how all of this was going to play out. And I think that is what kind of got me. Like, of course, I got connected to the characters. I will say the character growth is really good in this show. Was written really well. But on top of that, I wanted to know, like, I was committed. I wanted to know how it was going to end. And so I recommend it's called Learning to Love. It's on Netflix. It's a J drama. So if you're not used to the visuals of a J drama or the storytelling of a J drama, I would say definitely go into this with sort of different kind of eyes. It's not the same, but still really good writing, still really good visuals, still really good acting. Learning to Love on Netflix.